Hi guys, thanks for looking in. So let's take a look at astrology as we go through the next week. Last week was kind of tricky. Things were changing. We were finding new ways of doing things if we were lucky. We weren't all lucky. That's a fact of life. But let's kick off with looking at where we are right now. This is Sunday, the 12th of September 2021. And of course, the day after 9/11. And I know that's a very emotional time for a lot of people. And in some ways, a time of celebration for the way people overcame things and the bravery and the heroic stuff that people did then. So that's taken all our minds off the general nuts and bolts that hold life together a bit, because I suppose it is all part of the nuts and bolts and it's quite an important part, so that's why people were looking at it. But now it's kind of back to life, back to reality, and it's a slightly tricky week ahead as we come up to it. But right now the moon is in Sagittarius, just entered Sagittarius today, really. So it's generous, open, optimistic, that kind of thing. People like to give some advice out. People are more willing to share their experience as well. Great for big plans, actually. I wouldn't be looking at putting those big plans into practice immediately, just looking at what we've got coming up in the next few days. But we'll take a look at that in a minute. But yeah, it's not a great time for attention to detail, honestly. And I know this, I am a Sagittarius myself, and attention to detail is not one of my strongest suits in life, shall we say. And it's that kind of time now, Sagittarius moon. Let's take a look in my cheaty book. The moon is actually going to enter Capricorn on Tuesday. So we've got another day or two of Sagittarius influence yet. And then on Thursday, the moon enters Aquarius. So, you know, Capricorn through the middle of the week, quite a strict influence. Aquarius, we're starting to look outside ourselves again and things get bigger again when we actually get to Thursday. And then I will be back on Friday with a look at the week ahead. But yeah, right now, Sagittarius moon, she is 33.6% full. So she's going to be halfway up on the 13th, and that is actually tomorrow. So we are very nearly there now. Even though she's only 33%, there's a sort of apple shape to the way the moon makes her transits. So she's moving faster in mid-cycle than she is when she's at the beginning of it or at the end of it. So she's picking up fast now, 21:39 here in UK. So that is going to be 1:39 p.m. on the Pacific side of the States and Canada. 3 hours later on the east side, we reach first quarter, and that's when she's halfway up, and that is really when the lunar energy gets its boots on. Things really start kicking forward. And as I say, it's not the best week for that, but what can you do? Grandmother Moon is out there trying to make the best of things. So right now, and this is Sunday the 12th, just taking a look at the applying aspects, what's coming towards us right now in astrology. The sun is opposite Neptune, so there's a certain amount of confusion and indecisiveness going on there. Nothing creates confusion quite like Neptune, and you might come to an impasse where you just can't get any further forward. You might find sort of blocks in your path, not blocks in your psyche, but blocks in your path more than anything. People resigning, you get scandals in the news, uncertainty, generally speaking, and it can be difficult to hold your vision of the future when the sun is opposite Neptune. Possibly agreements breaking down, possibly a lot of arguments in religious circles, and since this here is a Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised if things get argumentative about religion. I really wouldn't. Moon herself is sextile Saturn. Now, people are quite thoughtful, people are quite serious, you know, but it's important to remember traditions and try and be practical, I guess is the word. Try and be pragmatic. Try and be as practical as you can. It's all about keeping it real. It really is. So Mercury is trine Jupiter at the moment. School, travel, transport, legal matters, all those things that we associate with Mercury have priority. Good time for exploration and learning. A trine is actually quite a positive alignment. And openings, improvements, generous actions, really. So that goes quite nicely with the Sagittarius moon that we've got at the moment. And it's going to give a positive start to a rather sticky, rather tricky week. We'll take a look at Venus and Mars as well. These are our closest heavenly bodies. Venus square Saturn. So feelings can be cooling down, and so can the weather when we have that alignment. And I don't know, it depends where you are in the world, I guess, but things are cooling down here in UK right now. And I am really pleased, actually, because it's been hard to get any sleep just lately. I was out driving last Wednesday, and driving home in the dark, and there was thunder and lightning, and it was still ridiculously hot. Actually, I had the windows rolled down and trying to keep cool as much as possible. So Venus square Saturn cools that weather down. It can cool down feelings between people. It can actually, create differences between people. They're likely to become a bit more apparent, and you get bitter feelings sometimes. Not so easy to make agreements, and that is why it's another reason why, in fact, it's so good to observe people's traditions, that kind of thing. It's all part of the practical approach. Mars void in Virgo, so individual actions tend to, well, that they can actually stimulate very progressive kind of movement, and that is supported by the Saggy moon as well. But it involves risk-taking as well, and that can really create problems. Personal survival tends to come before group cooperation. So that's Mars for you, isn't it? Always huffing and puffing. Let's take a look anyway at the week ahead, and I'm gazing into my book as well. So, oh, where are we? I saw it a minute ago and now I've lost it. Yeah, right, okay. Confusing start on Monday and Tuesday. And there are confusing energies in the picture already here on Sunday. Monday, Neptune is going to square the moon. On Tuesday, Neptune is going to be opposite the Sun. Neptune, like I said a minute ago, can be very confusing. So that throws people all over the place. There's a mental fog there, and that can drain energy. It can be very, very draining. It's actually a bit like if you've ever been out driving in a real intense thunderstorm and the windscreen wipers just will not keep up with you. It's one of those kind of feelings in the mind and in the spirit as well, really. Quite bewildering. And that is going to continue on Wednesday, because the moon is going to be square Mercury, and at that point the moon is going to be in Capricorn as well, remember. So a sense of purpose and determination will be back on Thursday, but Wednesday is going to be a really hectic day. Thursday is going to be the best day for really getting things done. The moon is going to meet Pluto. They're both going to trine the Sun as well. Now, when Pluto gets involved, it can be dark, it can be there can be ordeals going on, but we'll already be aware of all that stuff because of the mental fog in the earlier part of the week. Pluto is also a great revealer, but you do get the dark night, the long dark night of the soul before you start working things out, before that rebirth comes into being. So that is going to be Thursday. Friday, well, things just grind to a halt, really. It's not particularly good, it's not particularly bad, unless you're really keen on getting something done on Friday. And like I say, Thursday is far and away the best day for making new things happen and getting things done in the week ahead of us. But there's going to be a T-square on Friday between the moon conjunct Saturn, and it's going to draw in Venus and Scorpio and Uranus all in Taurus. So people are going to be at odds over how to do things. Probably everybody is. There's kind of no middle ground with this. It's going to be crazier. But, things get better next weekend. I'll be here before then to sort of talk about all that and make you as aware of it as I possibly can be. But right now, that is just about it for our look at the next week when we go Sagittarius. Well, we're in Sagittarius now. Capricorn and Aquarius. A Piscean weekend next weekend, and of course we're getting closer and closer to that full moon coming up on the 20th of September. But that's another story, a story which I will address in videos yet to come. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up on this video, and why not hit the subscribe button as well to make sure you don't miss anything going forward, because more videos are coming out all the time. Thanks very much to you guys who've subscribed already. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to visit my other channel, Twig Brother, there's a link down in the description below. Twig Brother is the name of my spirit guide, by the way. I am Andy. I should have said that earlier, because I bet half of you don't know who I am, but my name is Andy, and this is the kind of stuff I do. On the Twig Brother channel, the kind of stuff I do is psychic mediumship and pulling cards, that kind of thing. We have live videos 3 times a week. So head over to Twig Brother and do join us for that. Meanwhile, have a fantastic next week. It's sure it's not going to be as bad as I've made it sound. I'm just pointing out all the crazy stuff. It's not a bad week for like testing the waters, seeing how you kind of get on with new different ideas. Any problems are really going to show up Monday to Wednesday and possibly on Friday as well. But Thursday is great because that's the day you can actually get things done, and that's when you find out the truth about things you might have felt better or worse about during the rather crazy conditions earlier in the week. So have a fantastic time ahead, friends. I'll see you again very soon in a future video. Goodbye.